G'day everybody and welcome back to the channel. I know, it's been a while, but I'm here today and I have a great video for you guys. Today we are checking out the abandoned Castlemaine to Maryborough railway line. So we have lots to do, lots to see, plenty of bridges to check out. So let's get into the video, roll the intro. Opened on the 7th of July 1874, this 55-kilometre cross-country railway connected the goldfield centres of Castlemaine, Newstead, Maloort, Carisbrook and Maryborough, with around 8 stations and stopping places along the route. For more than a century, the line carried passengers and a wide variety of freight, including grain, livestock, wool, timber and ballast from local quarries, playing an important role in central Victoria's economy. Passenger services ended on the 31st of July 1977, but freight traffic continued for more than 3 decades afterwards. Ballast and grain trains were still operating on sections of the route until 2010, before flood damage near Carisbrook and declining traffic brought an end to operations. With the line effectively closing in 2011, today much of the railway lies silent, but its stations, bridges and formations still tell the story of a line that served Victoria for well over 130 years. Let's take a look and see what's left. So welcome to Castlemaine Station, which is on the Bendigo line. Obviously Castlemaine Station is still open today with V-Line and is the home of the Victorian Goldfields Railway, which runs the branch all the way to Maldon. So the line actually diverts off here from Castlemaine. So let's go to the spot where the line actually separates from the Maldon branch. Alright, so here we are in Castlemaine and this is the start of the junction which spurs off to Maryborough. As you can see, we have the Victorian Goldfields Railway right next to us and that is heading off towards Maldon, and we have the embankment here still remaining with a little pedestrian crossing there over the VGR, and the branch itself heading this way, so that is towards Maryborough. And just making our way up the embankment a little bit. I know the train's coming in about 10 minutes, so we will come back to get a shot of that. Here we've got a piece of rail which is actually holding up the posts for the crossing here. Same on that side too. Pretty cool. Making our way up, we can see there is a cutting coming up. So now we're in the cutting and we are coming to a bridge which is a road crossing. As we walk over the ballast, you can still see some remnants of sleepers still in the ground, and that is the road crossing. That's actually a wooden bridge. And here is the road bridge, which I would call this a trestle, as we've got wooden posts, but I think obviously throughout the years they would have upgraded this for the heavier cars and cars coming over, and they've added steel posts as well and cross members to make sure that this structure doesn't fall down, which is great to see because the original wooden post can also still be used for the main structural integrity of the bridge. Very nice. And on the sides, some railway sleepers. And the line keeps going that way towards Maryborough. You can see kind of curves off there above the houses down below. You can actually see a blend of quartz and ballast. So quartz was used as railway ballast on some lines in Victoria, including the Heathcote branch. A lot of that actually had quartz as the ballast. Great little spot to start the branch, and we're now going to head back to the Maldon branch and watch the J-Class come past on VGR. Alright, we are just before Cambell, and we have a trestle here on the up of the station, fenced off like all the other ones, but pretty good nick, nothing's really fallen on it, so it doesn't look too damaged. And we have, like, you know, wood on the side here on the embankment, and that is Cambell right up there. So let's have a quick walk down. So this is the bridge. It's actually got a brick structure on the bottom and the wooden top. Very cool, nice to see. All right, now we're heading towards Cambell, so let's have a look at where the station once was. All right, so we have just crossed Station Street, which is kind of your telltale giveaway of if there was a station here. And right here, this looks like the mould where the platform would have once been. And here is a sign that there was a station here because we have a concrete foundation. Here we've got an old sleeper, and the ground starts to kind of come back down for the end of the platform. And we have these 3 posts here and 3 posts here, pretty much directly in line with each other. If anybody knows what that is and why that's there, please leave it in the comments below. As you see, it's old rail that's been used for these posts. So that way to Maryborough and back this way to Castlemaine. All right, it's cold, it's not nice weather. It was supposed to be sunny. It was actually sunny in Melbourne, but when I got here, it was foggy and cloudy. But anyway, we're gonna gloss over that. On to the next spot. Here we are driving alongside the Midlands Highway. There's a rail bridge, but we are going to the one which is actually crossing over the highway, which is where Guildford Station used to be. Now, I literally just didn't get a video of Guildford Station somehow, and there is the remains of a goods platform still there. There's also a mine which you can go into, but just kicking myself, I missed it. But look, it is what it is. I haven't filmed a video in a while, so we're just gonna count that as my mistake. But anyway, that is still there. That's what remains, and you can sort of see Guildford Station in the back there. But anyway, let's keep going. All right, guys, we are on the Midland Highway Railway Bridge. That is back towards Castlemaine, and as we head this way, we are going towards Maryborough. And if you can see over there, we have the beginning of railway tracks. What a beautiful spot. But as we make our way across the bridge, fantastic. So yeah, we do get to see the railway tracks start here, and I believe there are tracks all the way in the ground, all the way back to Maryborough from here onwards. So we will find out. And you can see this bit's here and that bit's there where the cutoff was. But yeah, very cool. Finally some track. And that's just looking back towards the bridge. And we're also just walking a little bit further down the line towards Maryborough because I believe there should be a rail bridge coming up, and I do see it. And on a side note, I do love the scenery out here. This is really nice, really cool stuff. And we are now at the railway bridge. This is a really big one. Have a look at that. Fantastic. So steel posts all the way, and we've got concrete pillars into the water down there and on the embankments. Very cool. This one's pretty long. And if you can see, there are some wooden pylons down there, so that might be the remnants of an original trestle bridge. In fact, that piece there looks like one of the original pieces as well. But let's have a walk of this bridge. Very nice, very scenic, a lot of open space and greenery here. Have a look at that. So that is looking down into the river. And that's on the other side. Very cool, very scenic. And got some cows over there. He got up when he saw me coming. He's like, who's that? It's just me. And we have 2 of the pedestrian escapes as well. And that is the end of the bridge. And the line continues on. And this was the railway bridge over the Loddon River. Let's keep going, keep seeing what else there is. Alright guys, so we drove along this road. We're heading back the other way towards Maryborough. That way is towards Castlemaine. There's the bridge, and that way is towards Maryborough. So here we are coming up to Strangway station, opened in 1893 and closed in 1955. And the name was also downgraded to Rail Motor Stopping Place at some point. And there were 2 tracks here with a crossing loop from 1920, originally called Strangways, but named after the local district. Never a major station, but it gained the loop siding during its peak traffic years. Alright, that was Strangways station. Let's keep going to the next one. Alright, we have been driving alongside the railway line for quite a while, and a lot of it is in really, really good shape. Even the bits that are like in the trees and you expect a lot of branches and stuff to fall over. Honestly, not a whole lot. Like, it looks really well preserved and maintained. I mean, I don't really know if it's being maintained, but a lot of it is in really good nick. Except for some parts, obviously, like here. Like, that's got a lot of trees and a lot of overgrowth happening on that. But we have a railway bridge. So we just got a farmer going past us in his tractor. Could be Jeremy.
It's a Lamborghini again!
But we do have a railway bridge here with concrete pylons and the wooden top half of the bridge. So great to see, really cool. And yeah, this is a nice long one. Have a look at that. Really, really cool. A lot of old bridges and a lot of culverts on this line. So yeah, really cool to see a lot of them still here. You know, I don't think that the last train here was too long ago. So, you know, with a bit more of the modern infrastructure, I guess that's why a lot of them are being held together really well. So good to see. Yeah, really cool. Awesome stuff. And all the rail from that point of the highway bridge has, yeah, continued onwards. And the only times I've maybe seen them be removed is at a level crossing, but not all of them have them removed. A lot of them have had them together. A lot of them have still been in the ground, just like asphalted over. But anyways, onwards we go. Welcome to Newstead Station, opened in 1874 and closed in 1977. This station had 3 tracks, a main line, a loop, and a good siding. One of the most substantial stations on the line as well. The brick station building and goods shed still survive and are among the best preserved structures on the route. So welcome to Newstead. This station is actually really, really complete. We can see the goods platform here. There would have been a track here coming up into that road there. And I think there might have been another road coming along the back way, or maybe it'll be from there, because I think there's a buffer on the other end of that. Well, we'll go have a look now. Well, actually, on the down end, you can actually see some old posts that are still there. We can see the level crossing maintenance box that's there, and the Railway Hotel Newstead. You always got to have the pub close by. And this is the goods shed. Not your typical one, brick made, but in great condition. And again, the whole facilities are all being used, and I'm pretty sure that this is too, maybe for storage, for maybe stuff for the art centre. That's what I would assume. What looks like an old railway buffer here. Some old stuff on it, very nice. Sleeper on the wall there. And that is the other entrance into the goods shed. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. So that's great to see. I'm sure that all of the buildings still being used, have been maintained, preserved, and that's exactly what we want to see. Now, I'm definitely sure there was probably another road here, or maybe up the back here somewhere, because it looks like there's an old buffer stop there. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it might have been. Like, there's an old
there's 2 old dog spikes in that piece of wood, so maybe it was. Just hard to kind of tell. We'll have to look at a line diagram and see what used to be here. Obviously things have changed over time, but I'm sure we can pull up a line diagram and have a look. And this is just the other ends of the grounds. And we have a good siding here in the platform. So yeah, very nice. Very overgrown, but you can see obviously all the brickwork is still here. And yeah, very nice. I think for me, the only other station I've seen this on that wasn't in preservation like Daylesford was at Trentham. There was a little siding like that over there. All right, well, that was Newstead Station. Let's keep going and on to the next one. Alright guys, we are on the Cairn Reservoir, Curran, Cairn? I don't know. Whichever one's correct, leave in the comments below. I don't really know how to pronounce it. But yes, we are here on top of the massive rail bridge, which spans a long way. That's a big bridge. I'm not walking all the way down there. But we are here on the bridge and the water level is really low. There's barely anything down there, which means you can actually see the old railway alignment. You can see the old concrete pillars just over there, which is amazing to see. And you can clearly see the alignment making its way back towards the main line that way. So yeah, really cool. Yeah, this bridge is huge. I think there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the pedestrian escapes. And yeah, just what a fantastic view this is. There's a lot of farmland and yeah, just a lot of greenery, very scenic, and a very peaceful place. But we do have a very nice bridge. We do have the road bridge, the rail bridge, and the old rail bridge. So all 3 in conjunction with each other. That's a really cool sight.
So here also lies Joyce's Creek Station, originally opened on the 2nd November 1874, part of the Castlemaine to Maryborough railway line. It closed briefly in 1877 before reopening in 1880 and remained in service until 1956. The station consisted of a single loop siding and served the small local community for many decades. However, with the construction of the Cairn Reservoir, the original station site and part of the railway alignment were destined to be flooded. To keep the line open, a 4-mile-long deviation was constructed around the reservoir. Joyce's Creek deviation opened on the 12th of August 1956 and opened a large bridge crossing the Joyce's Creek arm of the lake. Today, the original Joyce's Creek Station lies beneath the waters of the Cairn Reservoir, while the deviation remains part of the railway line. Although while the water levels are low, you can actually see the old station and bridge remains.
Alright, we are on the other end of the old railway alignment, and that is the old railway bridge in the reservoir just down there, which you can't really see. But this is the old alignment, and it cuts across this crossing here and goes along this embankment towards the main line again. That's really awesome. I love that you can see the entire old alignment. The embankments are still there, remnants are there. Really cool. All right, well, that was probably one of the highlights of the video. So on to the next place, Maloort. So we are here in Maloort with some old silos, and this is really cool. I think these are grain silos. Yeah, check it out. This is really cool. We have the siding here for the goods line, and then we have the main line here. You can kind of see that there's a roadbed here. All the sleepers and rail has been taken up. So that's just a closer view of the spur off. But we'll go down there now and have a look and see if we can find a points lever. You can see here, the rail has just been ripped up with the sleepers and fish plates have been left on the ground there. And here we are at one of the points. I don't think I see a switch. Yeah, it looks like they've been taken. Because I believe the points, that lever would have been about here on this to on these two sleepers. Yeah, for sure it would have been here. So they've removed that. So I imagine that they would have removed the other one too. That's interesting. There's a blade here. And yeah, I don't know why there's just track in the middle. Maybe that's from some of the pieces that were taken up over there. Maybe one of them was a catch point as well. We've actually got a mile marker here, 162. I believe that's 162 miles from Melbourne, I would believe. And here we have the other point, but no lever, so that has been removed. And just before that is a small trestle bridge. I say trestle, it's probably concrete underneath that, I reckon. Actually, no, it is just the wooden bit on the top, and we have, looks like bluestone for the wall. But yeah, very cool. And in the distance there is a road bridge going over the railway line. So that way is towards Maryborough, and that way is back towards Castlemaine. And I just did a quick search and correct, these were grain silos. I think this was a ballast siding, is what I'm seeing. But yeah, this was for the grain, and we would have had some hoppers come in and they would have deposited the grain into those grain hoppers. So yeah, really cool. I've never been up close to a facility like this, so it's just nice to see. Now, I believe this is still in use, but just not with the rail line anymore, of course. So this here is what you would actually swing out to load into the hopper that would be here, and then they would activate the machine, dispense the grain, and then push it back. Yeah, how cool is this? And these are the other ones on this side. See, that's one of the other ones that would swing out. Yeah, awesome. See, there's a ladder that you can climb up and do some work. Don't know what they'd be doing it for, but yeah. Yeah, awesome. And this is the other side. And this is one of those chutes that dispenses the grain. So the grain will be traveling up into the machine and fed down into the hoppers. It's so cool, this stuff is here. Yeah, nice. Yeah, well, just, it's very cool. I like the scenery out here. Very peaceful, very quiet. And yeah, it's really weird just going from this really industrial section to then just looking out in the fields and seeing all the green and how beautiful it is out there, and the hill in the background, like, yeah, hearing the sheep too. Yeah, it's really surreal, but yeah, what a place. I like this. I like this countryside a lot. And this is a perfect example of what I was talking about with the quartz being used for the ballast. So this whole siding, about till that second or third silo, is all quartz here. And on this side of the siding as well, there's actually the same thing, like just a rail slapped diagonally here. The middle is gone, and the point levers are all gone as well. So yeah, but you can kind of see down there, same thing, no lever on the other end. I think I see one. Well, we're gonna go down there anyway, so we will have a look. Now, even in this bit of the siding, the rail has been taken up, put on the side. So there's no track here or here, but this one keeps going. All right, so we are just getting to the down end of that siding, and there's even a balk at the end there. How interesting. So maybe when the line closed off, they put the balk there, maybe hoping the trains would only run up to this point and then head back towards Castlemaine, back to Melbourne. So that's really interesting. But we're just continuing the walk down a little bit while we can. And it's so quiet out here. this whole time that I've been here, not a single car has come on this road. This is one of those walks that's taken a while to get there. So far everything's been zip, 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 get in and get the shot and then go. But it's nice to take a moment, walk the line. You know, a massive credit to, I think, the Fog Ave boys, you know, for doing the hikes and doing the whole lines. That's tough. I can't do that. That's enough walk. I do enough walking every day at work. I try my best to not do that much walking on the weekends, but I'll do some. I will do some. And we do have 3 railway crossing boards, one there, and one there, and another example of the track not being paved over. Also, while I walk to this trestle bridge, just a side note, my mics died when I was at the most important time I needed them at the Cairn bridge, and I didn't realize I could charge them in the car. So that's why the audio is back. So apologies. I'm not going to go back and refilm it, but it's all right. A little bit of wind won't kill ya. All right, we've made it to the next bridge. Have a look at this. Very beautiful. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that looks like bluestone to me, or some kind of stone. So, but yeah, very nice. And actually down the other end, you can probably see there is a whistle post and a mile marker. So this was the siding side, and the station platform would have been on this side. Well, that was Maloort Station. I reckon it's time to get on to the next place, Carisbrook. Alright guys, we are on the up end of Carisbrook, and we're on a rail bridge right before the station and the level crossing. Really cool. Another big rail bridge. Not as big as the other one, but this is still really big, and it's nice and clean, and you know, a lot of this railway line and the bridges have been very clear, and you know, you can get to them fairly easily, so that's been a great help for this video. But yeah, what a cool bridge. We are over some farmland, really green down here. We've got some cows in the paddock there. We've got some sheep up on the hill there, and I guess they're living their best life, and they get to have a railway in their backyard. So that is Carisbrook down that end, and we sweep across. We sweep across the land, and that is towards Maryborough. So yeah, very scenic, very nice, and yeah, right across there is Carisbrook Station. So very cool, big concrete structure, and yeah, this railway line is shooting straight through a lot of the farmland out here, So yeah, very cool. But all right, that is the bridge. Let's keep going and let's check out Carisbrook Station.
Welcome to Carisbrook Station, the largest intermediate station on the line. This was the junction for quarry sidings, grain traffic, and later the lines to Ararat and Avoca. And here, the station precinct is mostly intact.
Alright guys, welcome to Carisbrook Station. Literally in the distance you can see the rail bridge just over there. But Carisbrook Station, not much going on here. Very run down. I don't think it's being maintained. It has been boarded up, which is good to preserve the inside. But not a lot going on here. It's not in current use, and yeah, just a bit stale. But yeah, this is the main station building. We do have the platform overhead here. That is the goods shed, and we do have the goods platform over there as well. And I guess these may be offices or bathroom facilities in here. But yeah, not too much going on. There is a really high point over there. We'll go have a look at that. Like the wall is really high over there. That looks like where an old water spout would have been. Over here. Very cool. I mean, potentially, I don't really know. Leave the comments below. wood shed. And here is the other end of the shed. I imagine someone, or whoever owns it or runs it, has stuff stored in there, which is why it's boarded up properly. But yeah, the track would have come out here and ran along down there. Yeah, so this is what I was wondering about. This is really high. So if anybody could let me know what this was for with the railway, leave a comment below. They actually use track to hold up the wooden boards. And there's a water tap on there. And this is the top of that mound. So nothing up here. And it is very high, obviously. We do have this tap. Let's have a... nothing. But yeah, and that is the main line. Further down in the distance, you can see a whistle post. All right, that was Carisbrook Station. Let's head on over, I think, to the final spot, Maryborough Station. So welcome to Maryborough Station, one of Victoria's most impressive country railway station. Opens in 1874, Maryborough sits on the Mildura line and was once a major railway hub, connecting routes to Castlemaine, Ararat and beyond. Its grand station building is often referred to as a country palace, a reminder of the wealth and importance the railways brought to the goldfields region. This was also my first visit to Maryborough Station, so seeing the railway artifacts at the front was really incredible. I really love seeing the railway history outside, proudly on display and preserved, maintained really well. Great to see that the signal was actually functioning, so really cool to get a pull of that. But yeah, Maryborough, what a beautiful station. I am absolutely in love with the architecture and the design of this station. Very, very retro feeling and a really nice sight to see out here on our main lines. I am still yet to go to many places in Victoria, suburban and regional, so seeing all these new stations, old buildings, old railway artifacts, it's still awesome and it really does bring out the rail fan in me, so very happy to see all of this preserved. Even old photos here in the station building, that's exactly what you like to see. Get a feel for the history and understand what the days look like back here in the past. Now coming into Maryborough, you can see where the line actually does meet the main line. It is separated from the main line itself, but you can still see the tracks that lead right up to where the connection would have been. This is also passing the old locomotive depot, which I believe is right here where the V lines are actually stabled now. So yeah, that was really cool to see as well. Still tracks in the ground there and a really cool building still preserved. I think still being used today by another business. Alright guys, well that pretty much wraps up the video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe, and please leave a comment below. Again, I'd just like to say sorry for not uploading as regularly as I should be. I'll try and get back into the swing of things. Life has been busy, chaotic and busy. So we're just trying to get what we can out. And a lot of the trips that I want to do are very far. So I'm just trying to navigate that whole side of it to be able to get out there and do them. So I'll do what I can. I'll try and get some vlogs out here and there just to keep y'all entertained and do something. So we'll see how we go. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you in the next video. Take care and peace.